life. Speak to us, God, your life-giving word.
Hi, friends. I'm Mother Sylvia from St. Mark's, and perhaps you recognize my friend here. Some people know him as Ken, but you probably know him as Grandfather Simeon from the Christmas story. In any
Oh,
case,
what,
now
what,
as we begin this
oh,
story of Lent, he's gonna tell us how the whole story began. So get comfortable, take a deep breath, listen to the song or sing along, and get ready for a wonderful story.
Only in silence the word, only in dark the light, only in dying life. Speak to us, God, your life-giving word. Only in silence the word, only in dark the light, only in dying life. Speak to us, God, your life-giving word.
I think we're ready. Take it away.
Old man Simeon. Yes, this is Grandpa Simeon. Do you remember me from the Christmas show? Well, today I'm going to tell you a story. Now, it's a story about the Bible, and as you know, the Bible is a book about the Hebrew people and their God, and it has all kinds of books, but it starts in the very beginning. And in the beginning, it says that God creates uh, the earth, that God creates the whole universe. But when He first created it, there wasn't anything here. It was just flat, some dirt, no trees or anything. There weren't any children playing. There wasn't any strawberries to pick. There weren't any plants, no flowers, nothing. But God decided to dress this place up. And so what he did, he started putting grass in different places and trees. And then he put some animals and fish and rabbits, chickens, birds. And he made the whole place real nice where it had animals and plants, but there wasn't any human beings there, none. So God decided that he was going to make a human being. And what he did, he reached down and he grabbed some of the dirt and put some blood. It was like clay, real kind of sticky dirt. And he rolled it in his hands and he rolled it until he made a form and made a little head on it, made a little bit of a body, a couple of legs, and then arms. And it made it look like me. And so that God made this human being, and he said he made it in the image of himself. So that was very interesting. We saw the first human being. And the interesting thing about that is that nobody else saw it. I mean, there wasn't anybody else there. How'd they get this story? Somebody must have told them. Maybe they made it up. Well, maybe it was true. But how do we know? Well, back in those days, people didn't read and write. What they did, they learned things by talking to each other, telling stories, just like we're doing. And someplace along the line, one person said, I had a dream and God talked to me. And what God said to me, he showed me this beautiful place where there was a garden, these people, and everything else. And he told his friend, and then his friend told his friend. Pretty soon, everybody was talking about this place. And then another person had a dream, and God came to them, and God told them, God put a man down there and a woman, and here was the whole story, and this is how it got there. Now, it might have been made up, but it could also be true. So it could be either one. So now we're going to go on and get to the juicy part. The juicy part is that God made this figure that looked like us, but he said it was made in his image. And what he did, he took a big breath and he blew into the nose of this of this statue that looks like us. And the statue became alive. Well, what do you know? You know, it shows that there must be a little God in us too. I mean, he blew himself into us. And so we don't know what God looks like, but according to this story, it's supposed to look like us, but we don't know if that's for sure. But it's still a good story. So tell us more about it. Well, this was a human being. This was a man, and he didn't have anybody to talk to, of course, because it was the animals. Well, he liked them, but they couldn't. And so he was kind of lonesome. So God noticed this, and he says, well, I'm going to fix this. And so what he did is when this man was asleep at night, when he didn't know it, God slipped down and he took a rib right out of his chest, a real rib. And he took this rib and he molded it around like that to make another human being. This one looked almost like the man, but it was a lady. So then we have two human beings, one man and one lady. And they're in this real nice area where everybody lived and had things to do. They could watch the animals. And from then, after he made the woman and the man, and he put them together, they loved each other. They really loved each other. God was made them so they would love each other. And then they put them in a very special place. God made a garden for them. And this was a gorgeous garden, and he called it Eden. So this is the Garden of Eden, and this is where the two people lived. And they called themselves Adam and Eve. And God told Adam and Eve, you name everything in this thing. You make a name for it. So they walked around and said, oh, there's a peach tree. Oh, what's that? That's a rabbit. Oh, here comes a hawk. And we said, oh, there's a little stream. Here's some fish. And they named everything in this garden. And they were very happy. You know, and that was the end of that part of the story. Now, there's going to be other stories that you're going to hear. And I just wanted to know what you thought you learned from it. Did you learn that everybody here has a little bit of God in them? Everybody does. You have yours, and that's a good thing. What else did you learn? That was for your lesson for today, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. And so, God bless you all.